Hey, Aidan Booth here. I'm the co-founder of 100K Factory, and I'm joined here today by a couple of our members who came in with us in 2016, and they've come all the way from Ireland. So we've got Rory and Kieran. Guys, thanks for making it over here.
Yeah, great to be here.
Before we do anything, why don't we share a little bit about your background? Obviously, you're from Ireland. How long have you been doing online stuff? Have you just got started?
Yeah, well, myself and Rory have been dabbling a little bit in online stuff, maybe for about 3 years before we did the 100K Factory Ultra course, and limited success. We both had day jobs at the time, full-time day jobs, and we always wanted to be able to go past the full-time day jobs. I worked in the food industry. I was traveling quite a bit away from my family, so I always had this dream of being able to work from home, run an online business, stuff like that.
Yeah. And Rory, I know that you, like Kieran said, you dabbled in a few things. Had you ever done the 100K Factory model or something similar to that?
No, I hadn't done anything similar to that. I'd done a couple of things in e-commerce a few years ago with, again, success over very short periods of time and nothing that ever worked well. And for me, like Kieran, I just wanted to change the way I worked. So my wife is from South America, so I want to be able to travel there with our son and spend some time there and that kind of thing. And it's just, I can't really do that in the current position I'm at the moment. So.
Yeah, so you guys are business partners now. When did you start working together?
4 years ago?
Yeah, I'd say 3 or 4 years ago.
Different projects, unrelated?
There was on and off projects kind of thing, and it's only now become way more formalized since we started to have more success and set up a company and all that kind of thing. Yeah.
So if we look at your timeline, you obviously came into the 100K Factory program in 2016. Can you just walk us through that a little bit, and when you got started, how long it took to start seeing some results, and how that kind of progressed?
Yeah. So I don't have the exact timeline actually, but let's say I kind of, when did it start? I mean, when was it?
I think it was April, May.
Yeah, so we started
June.
like right June. We started right on time, and we just did everything that we were told to do at the time we were told to do it. We moved pretty quickly along with things. So once we were, there's a few weeks before you're ready to make sales, right? Because you've got a lot of stuff to learn. But once we were ready to make sales, we were making sales straight away, right? Yeah. So, we made our first couple of sales a few days after you told us go, so that's
And we had dabbled in Facebook ads and other things in the past. Like in the past we did, we tried to sell t-shirts online, right?
Yeah.
And
how'd that go for you?
And not too good, not too good. But we were using Facebook ads, and it was the first time we ever used Facebook ads, and we learned a lot about Facebook ads. We thought we knew about Facebook ads, but it wasn't going very well. So when we started doing 100K Factory Ultra, and 3 or 4 weeks in, we're having sales of 800 a day.
Of how much?
800 a day.
Wow.
3 or 4 weeks in. I'd say by the third week in June we hit 800 a day.
800 a day.
We were just like, oh my god.
You're doing 20 grand a month at this point.
But we just couldn't believe it.
Kieran, we first when we started getting to 100 sales a day, we were going, this is fantastic, and then a week later you got 300 a day, you're going, wow, this is cool. And now every couple of weeks you get these huge jumps. That's been fantastic. So that's kind of how it worked for us. Once we were ready to make sales, we started making sales, and then it started to just gain momentum every week then after that.
So fast forward, I guess, since you started to where you are now, what's your sort of daily run rate? How many sales are you doing per day in dollar terms?
$4,000, give or take.
Yep.
Every day, pretty consistently now in 2017, and so that means for us about
180 sales.
Of orders, and so we're shipping about 400 products a day, 400 to 450 products a day.
And how many websites do you have?
So we've 2 stores. So we've got our one main store that we put all our work in, which is the first one we've built. And then we have another one that's kind of coming up behind that one now. So it still needs more work, but and we've got pretty big plans.
So you're doing $4,000 a day on 2 different websites. Does one of those websites do the lion's share of the sales?
Absolutely, yeah. So I mean we've put most of our work into the first website, so that is the one that's producing everything, and it's difficult then to kind of take your time and move it on to the other one, even though we know we should do that,
But that is beginning to change because, as I said, I had a full-time job. But from the start of the year, this year, I don't have a full-time
So
job. This is my full-time
you've
job.
resigned.
I've resigned.
Wow.
I've left. So from
Was that in the plan, or did that kind of just happen when you started seeing?
we had some, well, it was always in the dream, but in November we had some amazing days of sales.
Yeah.
So it was the first time we went up over 4,000. We actually had 5,000 one day, a couple of days in November, and we just said, okay, this is just too serious here. We can't be doing this part-time. There's a real opportunity here. So, we were able to made a bit of cash then in November and into Christmas. So we had a platform to launch me into it full-time come the start of January.
Yeah. So there's probably people that are listening to this right now that are hearing $4,000, $5,000 a day, and it just seems crazy.
Yeah.
You guys are used to it now.
Yeah.
We're getting used to it.
But what was that like? I mean, you must have started off with, initially getting maybe $50 a day, $100 a day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
and being as excited.
And being as excited at that, because that's
course,
that's great. That's a great story, because you're not thinking about the 4,000. You're just thinking about those couple of sales. And sometimes I don't even tell people like how much money we generate in a day, because I just think they won't believe us.
Yes.
So it's so it is kind of incredible.
Yeah.
It is a bit unbelievable, but it is what it is.
Because there's guys in e-commerce businesses I know, and they're at it with years and they're not even touching that and touching them.
Well, I mean, if you look at brick and mortar.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I was just going to say, and I mean, if you look around, like where I live at home, if I look around the stores, and I just watch what's going on there, not most of them, but a lot of them are not turning over anywhere near that at all. So
Yeah.
So you guys are actually your business partners, but you live in different parts of Ireland.
Yeah.
How does that work? Like, how do you run your business? Do you sort of divide and conquer the tasks, or how does that work?
Yeah, we do. So, well, so things have changed this year, right? Because now Kieran's full time in the business,
so he makes me do more.
So I make him do more.
Good
So we've
move.
set up this system now where we agreed that because Kieran is going to be stuck in the day-to-day stuff, I would take a more strategic role in the business.
Yep.
So I'm, the director, and Kieran's the GM. If you like,
Makes
so
sense. Yeah.
I keep an eye on the big picture, because it's easy to get lost when you're in the day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it works right now. But last year, when we were working, we were only working 1 day a week at this by the time we got to the $4,000 and $5,000 mark. So when we were doing that, we would just, Kieran would come up to my house 1 week, in the evening. We'd put a strategy together for the next day. We'd work really hard the next day, and then he'd go home. And then the following week, I'd go down to his house. That's how we did it.
Yeah. So you said something really interesting there, which may not have been apparent to everyone, but you started off, did you say, working 1 day a week on this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like man hours, there was 2 days a week going into it, because one of his.
Because it was both
one
of
mine.
you.
Yeah. But that was it, and that amount of work brought us up to those sales we had in November.
Yeah.
So for now, I mean, then when we looked at that and we went, God, this is like crazy to be doing anything else. If you think about what's the best use of your time, that's where it needed to be. So now, as both of us move into it, we're going to ramp this up really hard now in 2017.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Rory is now going to be moving into it full time, maybe 3-4 days a week.
Yeah.
Come next month. So he may not be full time, but if I have him 3 or 4 days a week, I'll be 5 days a week. We can really ramp this way quicker.
Talking about ramping up, given everything that's come before you, all the experiences you've had over the past 6 months or year working the system, what's your game plan, or what's your growth plan for 2017? Have you thought about what numbers you want to get to? Or?
Absolutely, yeah. 10x, like, so we're at 4,000 a day now with, say, as you say, like the majority of that is in one store, right? So let's just forget about store 2 we have at the moment, because it's not mature yet.
Yep.
So our plan is to have 10 of those stores doing 4,000 a day.
Yeah.
That's
So 40,000 a day.
Yeah.
Yep.
In
So
sales.
I know that's going to sound ridiculous to people, but
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
seen how it works, we've seen how fast it can happen, and we know we can do it. So
Exactly. I mean, a year ago, this would have seemed ridiculous. Where we are right now, a year ago, would have seemed a little bit ridiculous to me. So, but we got one store, 4,000, working 1 day a week each.
Yeah.
Really. No, it then dropped off a bit in December and January, but we've got it right back up there now because we're working full time.
Yeah.
And a lot of our time in the last few weeks has been put into actually planning those other stores. Now, I'm not going to bring 8 of them on at the same time, one at a time, but by the end of the year, we should have 10.
Yeah.
We want to have 10 at 4,000 a day.
One, just to kind of go off on a different track for a moment here, what was the sort of underlying driving factors for each of you guys that kind of motivated you to want to do this? Steve and I, we always talk about freedom, different types of freedom. But what was it for you guys?
Yeah, in fact, like freedom is a word that I use a lot as well. That's what's so important to me, you know, just to have that freedom to be able to go away with my family and spend some time with my family's family in South America and that kind of thing. So that's really important. And I've always, like in the other roles that I've worked in the past as well, that's always been what I've been trying to achieve. And for us, I think having, like, we've a written, like, 2-page strategy that we work off, and every Friday we sit down and we go through it. Actually, we're supposed to be doing it now, Kieran, I think.
5 hours. 5 hours over.
So we go through that, and like at the top of that is, you know, freedom for our families, you know, and that's what we're after. So freedom means a lot of things, you know. It means, like, we need the money to be able to have that freedom as well. There's no point having freedom if you can't go anywhere, right?
So I know you've got one 4-year-old, and you've got...
I've got a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old.
Yeah, so you're a work-home dad.
Yeah, I am, and it's a great. That really works for me, and it's a great. I get up in the morning, I have breakfast with my kids, I shout them out. You know, I fight. You know, they're young kids. Get out the door. You know, school. You know, but you know, it's still a nice time of one's life. You know,
absolutely.
It's not like a Pinterest family where we all get up and be nice to each other in the morning. You know, in reality, we shout them out the door. We get them out the door to school, but it's a lovely experience to get up and have those moments with them in the morning. I don't have to be up at 6 and on the road and gone somewhere. I can be there around 9:10 when places calm down, the kids are all at school. I then go to work.
You can plan your own day to.
I can plan my own day.
Whatever works.
Yeah, so that's a really nice thing, and I think when I get older and when I look back on it in 10 years from now, it'll really mean a lot to me.
Was your sort of motivating factor the same as Rory's, or was it slightly different? I mean, I know you were working in a full-time day job.
I wanted to earn a lot more money too.
Yeah.
You know, like
everyone.
Yeah, you know, that's, you know. I wouldn't say I'm greedy, but I want to have more money, to have a nicer lifestyle for my family.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
My family, I want my kids to grow up with nicer things, if possible. You know, I built a house a few years ago. I don't consider it finished.
Yeah.
I want to invest, you know, a lot more money into that house to make it the way I want it to be.
Yeah.
For my kids growing up and stuff. So that I'd like to travel a little bit more, take my kids on nicer holidays. Stuff like that.
What was, would you say, was something that sort of surprised you about the 100K Factory business plan that maybe you didn't expect, or was there something that kind of surprised you when you started working it in the trenches?
Yeah, I know Kieran has been surprised by something. For me, it's more like, I suppose, interesting that, not surprised so much, but the fact that we could get so much traffic so quickly and just test stuff really fast. So we can move really, really fast with things, because in most other businesses, you got to move slowly. You make a plan, you start to put the plan in place, and it's like months or weeks or even years then before you figure out whether things are working.
Yeah, I mean,
we know in 24, 48 hours whether something's working. If it's not, we switch it off, try something else, you know. Yeah. But you know, you were definitely surprised.
Yeah, I was surprised at the fact that you can actually make money on e-commerce with Facebook ads. Yeah. Because we had tried, we thought we were good at Facebook ads. You know, we thought we were good at targeting and good at doing the ads and call to actions and all this sort of stuff. We thought we were good at this, and you know, we tried to sell things, as I said, like t-shirts and stuff like that, and we just couldn't sell it. We couldn't sell anything profitable. Yeah. You know? And all of a sudden, we started using Facebook ads in 100K Factory. We're making money.
Yeah. So it sounds like you had some sort of experience, and people listening to this might be thinking, well, I'm not like you, I don't have any experience, I've never used Facebook before. Yeah. I mean, what would you say to them? I mean, did you deviate
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point, because we've done things in the past where we've tried to be smarter than what we were learning, you know, or we've kind of used our own ideas. And what we decided on this one, we said, look, let's just do exactly what you guys tell us to do. Let's just do it fast, and not try and bring in anything else. You know, just do exactly what it says on the tin. And we followed, like, if you said to us, you know, you got to do, you know, this thing and like test 10 products in 10 days, then we did it, but we just maybe did it a little bit quicker. That was it. And we're just doing every single thing exactly the way you want it done, is how we made it. So for that reason, I don't think that our past experience was of any benefit to us at all, you know.
I think a lack of knowledge is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because you're not...
Sometimes it is, because you start with a clean slate.
You start with a clean slate.
It is, because we have done things in the past. And and we did it our way, not the way it was meant to be done. And guess what? It didn't work.
It didn't work. But you've got to be prepared to put that effort in as well. There's work involved, right? It doesn't happen.
Of course.
So if you need to be prepared to put in that effort, and I think that we were talking to some of the other guys the other day, and everybody there put in that effort, but they did it quickly. They did it at the time they were supposed to be done, so that when the next week came around the training, they were ready to go on to the next project.
So it sounds like kind of like you were doing your homework each week.
That's it. That's really. I never did it at school, but I did it for this.
Good work. Just to sort of round things out now, any keys? Anything you think has been quite key to your success? You said one thing was testing fast, doing the homework.
Doing the homework is really important.
Doing the homework, for me, it's what I call it the speed of execution. Just get it done, get it fast. And I think the one thing that's been really great for us is a partnership. Because there's days when one is up and one is down, and things are working well for me and they're not going so well for Kieran. In the different areas, and the fact that you can sit down and talk things through, and then I come up with ridiculous ideas sometimes, and he'll tell me shut up.
You've got a sounding board.
Exactly. Yeah. So
works both ways.
Yeah, works both ways.
Anything else from you, Kieran? Anything else you've seen as a key? I know you deal with a lot of the analytical side of things.
Yeah. I think the way you guys taught us how to implement Facebook ads was definitely key, because we were missing some keys there, and it's like a jigsaw to get it right.
Yeah.
And if there's one piece missing, it just doesn't work, and you make no money. And you guys showed us where we were getting it wrong.
Yeah.
In the course and that.
So the last question that I've got for you both is, for someone who's watching this and they want to get started, maybe they're scared to jump in, maybe they've never done anything like this before, perhaps they've tried things in the past and failed. What kind of tips would you give to someone, regardless of if they're a newbie or if they've tried and failed in the past? What kind of tips would you give for them in moving forward with this business model?
I suppose, starting from a really high level, I think one thing that's been important for us is that we have a really good plan, and it's not all about money. It's about something bigger than that, because there's days you wake up in the morning and you haven't made money, or you've lost money or something like that. You might have lost a small amount of money. You need to be able to keep going through that. And so you have to have that big picture. And then after that, for me, it's like what I said earlier, do the bloody homework, when you're supposed to do it, and do what you're told, and don't try and do anything extra. Don't try and bring anything else. Just do what you're supposed to do, and then it's going to work. You see, I think you get to a point, once you've gone through all the course and you've built up your own experience within your own store or stores, and you understand your market better, that maybe you do know a little bit better than your market than what you teach us, right?
Yeah.
So you come to that point, and then you can start to make your own decisions, but not in the early stages. You just need to do what you're told in the early stages.
I think another thing is, so in life we all have a tendency to jump into something and then maybe not follow it. But if you're investing all the money, you're going to do the course, take it on full 100%. So get involved in the Facebook groups. If you've got a problem, email support are there to help. Just email them and ask them, look, I had a bad day yesterday, all this happened, what will I do now? There's guys there that'll help you.
So and they've been great.
So just do it full on, and don't be afraid to do it full on.
Jump in with both feet
and stay there and just grab it.
Make it work.
And if you've got a full-time job, it's going to mean some late nights and things like that. But just look at the rewards that we've got from the other side of it.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for taking a few minutes today. It's I know it's an incredibly motivating story, and it's a pleasure for us to be able to work with you guys and see your results. So, Kieran, thanks very much. Rory,
thanks, Aidan.
Thanks very much.
Okay.